Okay, we're going to do a sequence just to soothe a headache. So we're just going to start off in our typical fashion with our restorative, basic relaxation pose. So just get yourself ready, have your blanket on top of your usual mat just for warmth and comfort, and have a bolster for your underneath your knees, a couple of blocks for underneath your feet, have a blanket to cover yourself up with, and a blanket for underneath your head. So just get yourself ready. Just have your bolster for underneath your knees, the blocks for underneath your feet. Remember, just cover yourself up for warmth. And if you can cover your eyes with anything, then do that just for quietness. So just get yourself down onto the floor and just spend a few moments just listening to your breath, just feeling just the relief of releasing into the ground. Soft in the jaw and in the tongue and in the throat. Just allowing yourself to just gently release into the floor. Just feel that you can adjust for comfort if necessary. And allow yourself permission to release. Give yourself permission to relax. Consciously release the teeth, the lower teeth away from the upper teeth. Soften your tongue in your mouth. And notice that you also soften around the eyes and around the forehead. So soften the skin around the face. Allow the jaw to soften by consciously releasing the teeth away from your lower teeth away from the upper teeth, and soften the tongue in your mouth. Breathe even deep inhalations and exhalations. Softening the skin around the skull. Soften the throat from the inside. Soften the neck. Consciously soften the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to sink into the floor. If there are any areas of resistance or discomfort, then consciously push your out breath into that region. Just relax the upper arms in the shoulder sockets, softening and releasing the bone. Soften the elbows. Release the forearms consciously into the floor so that the arms become heavy. And release the hands into the floor. Consciously soften around the chest, observing any areas of tension. Consciously releasing tension from around the shoulders and the armpit chest and the ribs. Soften the abdomen and the hips and the pelvis, allowing the upper body to completely release into the floor. Draw your attention into your thighs, And allow your thighs to sink into the floor, allowing the fronts of the thighs to sink in towards the backs of the thighs. Consciously releasing the thighs into the floor. Release around the knees and around the kneecaps. Consciously softening the kneecaps. And allowing the fronts of the shins to sink into the backs of the shins. Draw your attention into the tops of the feet so that you feel the skin and the muscle and the bones, and consciously allow the tops of the feet to relax, softening the tension away from the tops of the feet. And then draw your attention into the sole of the foot, to the sole of both of your feet. So that the skin becomes tingly with consciousness. And then consciously relax the sole of the foot. Letting go of any tension around the feet, around the shins and the thighs and the pelvis and the abdomen and the chest and the shoulders and the arms, the hands and the neck and the head. Just allowing yourself to soften. So just allowing yourself to release into the floor. Okay, when you're ready to disturb yourself, just gently wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, and then bend your knees. Just bring your feet onto the bolster, have the feet apart, the knees together for a moment, just resting your back into the floor. And then gently roll over onto your right side. And then straighten yourself, straighten the top leg up, and then come up into the seated position. Okay, so we're just gonna come into the eagle pose. So sit yourself ideally on your feet. So sit back on your heels. Now, if you don't find it comfortable to sit on your heels, then you can sit on some blocks. Have a couple of blocks like this, and then just sit on those between the two feet, and then just lift up into the chest. So we're just going to do an eagle pose with our arms, just to stretch out the shoulders and to release around the neck. So just stretch your arms out to the side, and then bring your arms in front, and then cross the right hand underneath the left hand, and then just reach around and get hold of your shoulders, and try and make the elbows kind of overshoot, make the top elbow overshoot the bottom elbow. So you kind of cross and you try and just broaden out the backs of the shoulders. Just stay at this stage for a few breaths. And then keep hold of your right shoulder with your left hand, and then bring the bottom elbow upwards, bring the hand up, the right hand point out to the ceiling, and then straighten the other arm, and then turn that left hand up to face the ceiling, and then try and bring the palms to face each other. So the palms are facing each other, and then if you can't get hold of bring the hands together, you can get hold of the thumb, and then lengthen the forearms away from the face and stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. Take some deep inhalations, deep exhalations. So lengthening the elbows away from the shoulders, lengthening the forearms away from the face. Just prizing open the shoulders from the back. And then just release your arms, just rest your hands on the lower ribs, on the upper leg, sorry. Just observe the lightness of your arms. Just turn the palms up to face the ceiling. Just feel that your arms feel a little lighter. Just draw your chin down to meet your chest. Raise your chest up to meet your chin. Drawing the shoulders down away from your ears. And then just bring the head back level. And just stretch your arms out. So this time, bring the hands forwards and make the left hand go underneath the right hand. And then just again grip hold of the shoulder. So reach around, try and get the hands to almost creep towards each other behind you, so that the upper elbow and the bottom elbow have overshot each other. Just breathe a few deep inhalations and exhalations. Just every now and then, just creeping the hands a little closer together behind the back. And then the bottom elbow arm, raise that arm up. So bend that bottom elbow arm up to face the ceiling. And then the other elbow, straighten that out, turn in the palm, and then see if you can bring the hands so that the palms of the hands are close to each other. Pressing together preferably, or just wherever you can reach. And then lengthen the elbows away from the shoulders. And lengthen the forearms away from the face. Let the neck be soft. Breathe even deep inhalations, breathing into the back chest. And then gently just release your arms, rest your hands on your thighs, palms facing upwards. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest again. Drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. And then just release. And we're going to do our legs up the wall pose. So have a bolster for your seat bones, and then you're going to just sit yourself on the lift and then just roll onto your back and have the feet stretching up the wall, so you can just move the bolster so that it's really supporting your back, and then cover your feet and your legs just for warmth. And then just allow your arms just to rest over your head. Just resting your arms just over your head, and then allow yourself to release down into the floor. So as we progress into the sequence, I'll speak less and less, so that you're able to just concentrate on relaxing rather than listening. So this gentle sequence of poses is beneficial for soothing headaches. It's also a quietening action after a long day. Okay, and when you're ready, just gently bend your knees and just roll onto your side, rolling yourself off the bolster. And then bringing yourself back up into just a cross-leg position. Just observing your energy, observing how your energy has changed. Okay, so we're going to do a supported butterfly pose. So you need two blocks, one on its side like this and one on the higher end, and then you get your bolster and then just bring that so that it sits on the ramp. So just make sure that that feels like it's, sometimes that takes a little bit of getting balanced. And then have a blanket on top of there just for your head. And then we're going to come into Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet are going to come together, knees fall apart. If there's stiffness in your hips, you can always support the thighs with some cushions or some blocks. And then again, you just cover yourself up for warmth. And then just bring yourself down and rest your head down onto the bolster. And then just rest your hands down on the floor, palms facing upwards if you can. And then allow yourself again just to relax. Consciously soften the jaw, soften the tongue and the throat, soften around the forehead and the eyes. Okay, just push your hands into the floor and then lift your chest. Just come into cross legs. Just observe your energy, drawing the shoulders away from your ears. And then we're going to do a supported bridge pose. So ideally, you need 2 bolsters for this, but if you haven't got 2 bolsters, then have a bolster, the main bolster for your back. That's the main one, and then you have one for your legs as well. But if you haven't got 2 bolsters, then you can just put some cushions underneath your legs there. So you've got your main bolster, you've got your secondary bolster, and you've got a belt. And you're going to put the belt into just a loop. And then have a gently folded blanket. So just rather than just a full folded blanket like that, just have a quarter fold. So it's just a gentle lift. And then with the belt, you're just going to come down and sit on the bolster, and then you're going to put the belt around your legs, and then just tie it around your thighs, just gently, not so you're not kind of trying to kind of pull the legs too closely together, just so that they're supported, so that they'll stay. And then you're going to come down onto the floor so that your shoulders are just on the floor and the blanket is underneath your head. And then you just allow yourself to rest. Now, if this feels too strong in your back, then just shuffle yourself down a little more until it's no longer strong on your back. So again, just fold yourself, cover yourself up, just for warmth. So this supported bridge pose again is another pose just to help soothe the headache. Just let the arms rest on the floor. Just release into the ground. To come out of the pose, just bend your knees and then just very gently, bearing in mind you're up on the lift, just gently roll off the bolster and then just sit yourself up. Just slide off the belt and then just sitting cross legs for a moment. Just observing your energy, and then just for the last couple of minutes, we're just going to go back down onto our back, have the blanket underneath your head, have the bolster underneath your knees, just for our basic relaxation. The way that we ended, the way that we began, is the way that we end our sequence. Just allowing yourself, just for the last couple of minutes, to just completely let go. Just observe the energy that radiates out from the bones into the muscles of the arms and the legs, into the organs, to the flesh and the skin. So although this practice is gentle, the value of relaxation is paramount to our ongoing well-being. Relaxation allows the body to recover. So just having this time on the mat to dedicate to relaxation is a really valuable hour spent in your day. Okay, when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bend your knees. Just rest your feet on the bolster for a moment. Just feel your back supported by the floor. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then gently roll over onto your side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into cross leg position. With your hands in the masti, just a final spinal lift. Drawing your breath in through your nose, down into the abdomen. Conscious of the energy that you've released through your practice. That good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the reclining relaxation poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards as you raise your head. Allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel like you've just replenished your energy, given yourself quietness around the brain, and you should have some good energy for the rest of your evening. So thank you very much for joining.